David Balondemu nga ssentebe wa Kampala District Land Board ate nga munnamateeka okuva ku Balondemu and Advocates alabisseeko mu kkooti eddala erisookerwako eya KCCA mu Kampala okuggulwako emisango egyamukwasa ennaku 3 eziyise. Mu maaso g'omulamuzi Edgar Kakakire, omuvunaana asomeddwa emisango 2 omuli okufera ensimbi wamu n'okwekobaana okubba ensimbi mu bukyamu newankubadde ng'ajeegaanye. Kigambibwa nti ono yafera munnansi wa Korea ensimbi eziweera ddala emitwalo 60 eza $.
First count is obtaining money by false pretenses, conduct section 305 of the Penal Code. The particular that you and for Eric Doctrine, Richard James, and Billy Godfrey, and others still at life between the months of March and November 2021 at the offices of MS Balondemu at Parliamentary Avenue to obtain $600 by falsely pretending that we are selling 50 kilograms of gold to Chonju Kim, whereas second count is conspiracy to commit a felony under section 390 of the Penal Act that you and Eric, Alicia, Billy Godfrey and others who are alive between the months of March and November 2021, you conspired with obtaining $600 from Kwon Cook Kim by false pretenses.
Not true.
Oludda olwabyo lutegeezezza kkooti ng'okunoonyereza bwe kwawedde. Bwe lutera ne lusaba kkooti okuteekawo olunaku omusango gutandika okuwulirwa newankubadde ng'abavunaanwa abalala tebannakwatibwa. Wabula Balondemu ng'ayita mu bannamateeka be nga bakulembeddwamu Evans Ocheng mukasambidde asabye kkooti ateebwe ku kakalu kaayo era n'ayanjula bamweyimirira bana okubadde mukyala w'omuvunaanwa Bahinzi Silivia, Richard Lukandwa ne Betty Nakayima. Yadde ng'oludda olwabi luwakanyizza okusaba kuno.
To indicate to court that from the nature of the offences is charged with, these offences are bailable. We also wish to indicate that at this stage, the accused before you enjoys the presumption of innocence. It is our humble submission that the accused himself, individually, with or without sureties, is a responsible person who can turn by himself. That the accused standing before you is an officer of this court, is an advocate with a standing record of over 10 years experience. And as an advocate, that's why I say single-handedly, he knows the consequences of turning up or not turning. Those consequences, he understands them. Before court, we have availed a copy of his Uganda Law Society membership identity card. And you can see the year of admission is ranging all the way from 2011. So he's a senior lawyer. Also wish to avail before court his current license as an advocate. What that means is that the court itself can track him. He's an officer of court. Details of his residence. Accused before you is a resident of Chito Local Council 1, Chito Local Council 1. At Chito Local Council 1, where he has been introduced by the LC, he has a permanent residence. He's not a tenant. He has a permanent home where he resides with his family. And yesterday there was a search in that home, so the officers know where that home is. So we are only asking that you single-handedly, before I go into sureties, find that he's a responsible person. I also wish court to indicate, and I agree with the details given in the charge sheet, the description that is given in the charge sheet, that he is the chairperson, Kampala District Land Board. In much time, I wish to indicate that in addition, if you permit me, we have sureties to stand for him. We have lined up about 4 sureties who are close to him. Maybe we will quickly go through them. I want to begin with Dr. Lukandwa Richard. Is Doctor here? We apologize, we have grabbed him from his workplace in that format. But Dr. Lukandwa Richard is 50 years of age. To be a visa card, but I'm told the LC that has been photocopied, we are going to amend it to court before I take leave. He is a resident of Kololo Wampeo zone. He is an independent, is a consultant physician. He's a consultant medical physician. Before court, he has a copy of his original identity card, national identity card. Before court, he also has a copy of his driving permit in original format. In much time, I wish to indicate that in addition, if you permit me, we have sureties to stand for him. We have lined up about 4 sureties who are close to him. Maybe we will quickly go through them. I want to begin with Dr. Lukandwa Richard. Is Doctor here? Because this is his home, most obliged.
Your Worship, I reiterate the application as, but seek Your Worship to buttress it together with the laws of Uganda guiding applications of this nature, Your Worship. With the key principle, Your Worship, which is the presumption of innocence, guiding all courts of judicature in hearings of applications of this matter, where the accused has all the rights available to innocent people in the country, once further guidance is sought. Your Worship, pursuant to the Constitution bail guidelines, in brackets, for all courts of judicature, bail guidelines, Your Worship, in brackets, for all courts of judicature, in brackets, Your Worship, practice direction, directions 2022, practice directions 2022, Your Worship, legal notice number 8 of 2022, legal notice number 8, Your Worship, of 2022, which were cited and fortified in approval, Your Worship, and the High Court miscellaneous application number 28, High Court miscellaneous application number 28 of 2022, Your Worship. That is the case of Bagira Julius versus Uganda. Your Worship, by your land brother, Justice Vincent Wagona. That applications of this nature have a lot of regard to the antecedents cited by my land colleague, but in addition, the stage at which the matter is. Your Worship, this matter is at a stage where prosecution has adumbrated before this court that they are only investigating. A level of investigations. Our client, Your Worship, has no record anywhere in the courts of judicature in Uganda, of having disrespected any terms for court bail, and Your Worship, in addition and finally, courts are enjoined to guard themselves against being used as tools of scandalmongering, Your Worship. Your Worship, I say this as an office of this honorable court. We have numerous and severally forewarned material trials of this nature against very high-ranking officials in the country, Your Worship. Against very high-ranking officials in this country, where courts are being used as tools of scandalmongering, ballyhoo, and only intended at the appearance for plea taking, and the matters are abandoned before courts of law immediately afterwards. Your Worship, we have not had, and of course this is not a stage at which the merits shall be entered into. One would shock the country that this is nothing but a mere travesty, Your Worship. Otherwise, hard-won historical credit of our client. Professionally, business-wise, social standing, and as a member and the nominee of intergovernmental organizations. with great repute. Your Worship, it is in this regard that us, as officers of court, make this application to implore that court exercises the privilege granted under the laws of Uganda to consider the antecedents provided and grounds of the application, including the witnesses. Surely it is your Worship. And grant freedoms to the accused for purposes that we shall continue to be before you, Your Honor, as and when practically required.
The case of dragging a rat into the sewer. The accused person has complied with the investigation at all times. He complied with the police officers when they required him to appear to the police, as demonstrated by the state that the investigations are complete. That shows that it's not a flight risk. He would have run away if he found that this was a serious case. It is our considered submission that the accused person is not a flight risk. He does not fear the trial. And we are ready to defend this matter even if it starts tomorrow or right after here the bail application. And we therefore pray that the court exercises its discretion and constitutional obligation to grant the applicant bail. We are aware that the charges claim of colossal sums of money that allegedly were obtained. The accused is ready to defend himself against those allegations. And all court has to do at the moment is to do a balancing act, which it normally does, and give a benefit of doubt to the accused person. We pray that this application will be granted, and I yield back on that point.
Continue to reiterate the application of the bail. Much obliged.
And that if anyone is given bail, he may interfere with the arrest of people. On what grounds, Your Worship? But bail is not given to him. And also pray for a warrant of arrest against him. It has been made by the IO. And is indicating that the subject matter is too hard. A1 is, if you given bail, maybe disappear. And since is in close connection to A2, who is on the run, Your Worship.
You serve and you rely on it.
Yeah, yes, you say again. You say documents on that.
Documents like affidavits in nature are not passed casually from the bar, from the bar to the bench. And if they intended to rely on it when we came, if they had filed it, they serve us and we respond. But nonetheless, we will respond because we find that there is a material contradiction. First, this court has been told that the inquiries are complete. The investigations are complete, and we are going to leave here with a date for hearing. The same state cannot, in a space of 2 minutes, turn and bring another affidavit purporting to say that inquiries are not complete. It's a contradiction. Your Worship, allegations of interference are not allegations that you make lightly. The courts in this country have pronounced themselves on such allegations. Starting from the notorious case of Panju versus R. When you also read the bail application of Uganda versus Akbar Godi, the courts are saying that such allegations must be substantiated. At this stage, there is no connection between A1 and A2, between the accused and the A2 being mentioned. There's no connection whatsoever. The court in hearing this application must weigh him as a person. Does he merit himself as a person? I also want you to take note, Your Worship, that his credibility and antecedents have not been attacked. I also ask court to consider that the capacity of these sureties to ensure his attendance in court has also not been attacked. They therefore remain substantial. Worship, the duty of court in a bail application is to weigh whether this accused, if he is released on bail, will he turn up or he will not turn up. If you are convinced that from what we have presented he will turn up, we ask you to grant him bail. Don't send him home empty-handed.
Has not indicated to this honorable court how the detention of A1 is a procedure for the arrest of A2. It has not given details of how is continued detention. is the best procedure for the arrest of A2. Your worship are canvassed well in the under the Criminal Procedure Code Act, and there is nowhere where unaccused is the arresting entity by detention. Where unaccused is presumed the arresting entity through detention of the same of a co-accused, Your Worship. Your Worship, therefore, we find that this affidavit is not sufficient to vitiate the discretion of this court. It's not sufficient to vitiate the discretion available to this court to grant bail as applied for.
Oluvannyuma lw'okuwuliriza enjuyi zombi, omulamuzi ataddewo olwanga 6 omwezi ogujja okuwa ensala ye mu kusaba kw'omuvunaana okw'okuteebwa ku kakalu.
The court shall study the application and also go through the submissions as well as the documentation which has been presented, and I'll return with the ruling on bail on the 6th of November this year. Meanwhile, the accused person is remanded into custody until the court is adjourned.
David Balondemu asindikiddwa ku alimanda e Luzira. Oludda oluwaabi lugamba nti David Balondemu, Mukwek Eliki Godfrey, Mugisha James Jeff ne Maviri Godfrey n'abalala abatannakwatibwa wakati w'omwezi gw'okusatu n'ogw'ekumi omwaka gwa 2021 ku ofiisi z'Abalondemu and Advocates ezisangibwa ku Parliamentary Avenue. Bano baafera munnansi wa Korea Yuan Yuki Kim ne bamubbako ensimbi eziweera ddala $60,000 eza dola ya America. Balondemu yakwatibwa akakiiko akalwanisa obuli bw'enguzi mu maka g'omukulembeze w'eggwanga nga bayambibwako ab'ebyokwerinda abalala.
Thank you.